Hi, welcome. Our group presentation is identification and biometric, which are widely used nowadays and would secure the unauthorized user to access the data. At the same time, it has become a future technology trend in various fields such as the business, security, passport, and so on. And the identification includes the ID and our username and password. And for our biometric, it includes the face recognition and iris recognition and other biometric identification. And therefore, the issue has become one of the topics that the public cannot be ignored. Fortunately, biometric technology has made great progress while experiencing the case of 911, which stabilized the position of the technology in the security field. Although the biometric is very good and friendly technology, it also generates a lot of controversy over serious ethical issue of human rights like privacy.
From the past, an identity card is used for personal identification of a person. It contains personal information stated on the card such as name, address and card number. Then process object, which is a card near field communication, is used to unlock door or act as a wallet and identification card at store terminal and security checkpoint. Voice biometric identification had been made use during the World War II. American soldiers used the spectrograph machine to intercept voice transmission and track enemy movement. However, the machine do not provide the accurate result in that time.
Face recognition was first invented by Woodrow Wilson Vessel in the 1960s. Due to limited technologies, it is not as advanced as today as it continued to improve. After much improvement, during 1993 to 2000, the Defense Advanced Research Project Agent, which is DARPA, and the National Institute of Standards and Technology started to bring face recognition to the market. The iris recognition, which use the color part of the eyes, appear to be as unique as fingerprint and retina, while the retina scanning, which is used to scan capillary pattern and the retina to identification the person. Finger identification is used to identify every unique personal identification since everyone has different pattern of fingerprints. This kind of identification started from the late 19th century at British.
Okay, for the first ethical dilemma that our group found is post-object ethic, which is the RFID. RFID stands for radio frequency identification, which must taken with proper care. The privacy of the user must be protected and prevented from leaking to outsider. And Verimate, this company, has implemented the RFID to every single patient in order to have more care on locating their location. Unfortunately, the old patient does not know that the implanted RFID will be able to promptly check his location and send signal for help to contact the medical personnel. But the medical consultant didn't tell the old patient that the real information, which is they will check down your identity. And this shows that RFID can put user health at risk. There are several stakeholders in this ethical theory, which are very cheap corporation, hospital, who has a positive right of ensuring patient safety, and negative right to choose whether they want to use Verimate on their database or not. Medical staff, which has a negative right to convey the information of implanting the RFID to the patient. Patient, negative right to choose whether they want to do or not do with the implementation of the RFID. Government, negative right to cooperate with very cheap corporation to surveillance the people. For the evaluation of the stakeholder perspective, there are deontology analysis. The medical staff does not convey the patient that the implemented IVD would able to provide the allocation to voluntary cooperation, but they're helping the patient rather than having observed of the allocation. For the rule utilitarianism, from the perspective of the government, the implementation of the FID is good to bring the benefit of location of every single people, which can be observed under the government. And lastly, for the subjective relativism, from the perspective of the government, they think that the implementation of IVD, which would shut down people, could protect the people from terrorist threat, is no wrong to them.
Okay.
For the debate of the ethical theory, they are concern privacy. The patient personal information may be straight out, and especially the private information like medical history and allergies. For the issue, the patient has received a serious treat because others know about their health issue. The second is the protected people. All the action that people done is being watched under the surveillance of government. So people can only do the correct thing because they are under the government tracking system. The third one is the mistrust government. The government might implement surveillance under the disguise of attractive slogan to observe the user, and this has invaded the privacy of the user. It might affect the social issue and legal issue. Secure database. The security of the database has been discussed by the public because the database store all the user personal data and privacy. But what we don't know is we do not know where the database is stored and where the database security is perfect. And when the database is hacked by the hacker, the user life will be threatened, or the user information may be used in an illegal way.
Okay.
The more recent examples of its use are of the Petalon who developed anthropometric in 1888 and the Edward Henry who in 19th century used fingerprints for the first time to classify and identify criminals. However, since the tragic event of 9/11, biometric technology has been gaining popularity as the public now expects greater security. Additionally, there are some tangible benefits in the use of biometric. For example, it is unique, convenient, and fulfills the needs for strong authentication. The main application for far are governmental, example ID card, e-passport, e-borders, air and port security and policing system. Among the commercial enterprise, the leading users are the travel industry, transport, and financial service. However, there are serious ethical issues in the use of biometric technology. The main issues concern the personal privacy, the conflict with one's beliefs and values, and the collection, protection, and use of personal biometric data. The civil liability organization argued that the technology undermines the human right for privacy and anonymity. It is intrusive and have the capability to make serious impact on personal freedom and democratic rights. The stakeholder for this case study is, the first one is the user who use the biometric technology. For the positive side is to ensure the personal information has not been used in all illegal places and being protected. While for the negative side is give the information to the government. Second, for the stakeholder is the government. The positive right to have the user's information for analysis with their agreement and permission, while for the negative right is misuse or sells the user's information for analysis without proper agreement. The evaluation of stakeholder perspective are the rule utilitarian and the subjective realism. For the rule utilitarian, from the perspective of the users can have greater security since the technology and hardware have been improved in design and accuracy. The government can secure the criminal rate since the criminal will leave their unique personal identification, and the government can know who the criminal is based on the clues. While for the subjective realism, for the perspective of the user, the biometric technology have no right or wrong to anyone, since it can identify one's identity. Some will feel that it is good and convenient since it can identify the person and access to the system. The debate for this case study is higher level of security. The system could identify the actual person to gain the permission or identification usage by using biometric, as it is required the person to be present. This because each person have their own biometric characteristic and it is unique that cannot be printed. Therefore, it plays an important role in the field of security nowadays. Second, the unique biometric data. The biometric data for a person is stored forever even though after the person have died, which means the biometric data of the person cannot be copied and used by others. The last one is the convenience and flexibility. The use of biometric is very convenient and flexibility for the people nowadays. For example, the people can use their fingerprint replace the role of the key in order to open the door, so there no need to bring along the key when they go out. Biometric can be used not only for security but also for the business, travel, policing system, and so on.
According to government law, New Zealand banks are required to comply with government consideration initiative. This could impact the biometric adoption process in the banks. The ethical issues is user face and iris are visible and their voice are being recorded, and also fingerprints and DNA sample can be left everywhere, and it can be a real threat to protect them. Overall, establish a sustainable biometric security infrastructure and addressing legal and ethical issues are the key concerns related to the banking organization under study. There are three stakeholders in this case study. First is Bank of New Zealand. The positive right is make sure comply with government consolidated initiative. The negative right is get the biometric without follow the government consolidated initiatives. Second is bank customer. The negative right is choose other bank instead of New Zealand bank. The third is government. The positive right is always keep track the New Zealand bank comply with government consolidated initiative. And the negative right is does not care about the process of biometric adoption. There are two evaluations of stakeholder perspective. First is rule evaluation. From a perspective of the bank decided to implement biometric identification into the system. The implementation of biometric device result convention and accurate identification of a person despite the stored biometric data and the personal information might leak from the bank. The second is social contract evaluation. From the perspective of the user give their identification to the government and the government have the responsibility to protect the user's right. Users need to be verified to have the access to the bank's system. The bank need to provide secure banking system for the participants to use the system easily and safely. The use of biometric in the banking system allow the user to have accurate and secure access to the system. This also reduces the possibility to hacker to hack in. The user can secure their money invested in the bank without any worries and have their access granted to the system easily at the same time. There are 5 debates of biometric security ethics. The first one is accurate identification. The bank can allow the actual person of the account holder to use the system, such as changing the ATM PIN number, changing home address, and other modifications. And the second is high-level security. The bank could make use the combination of multiple biometric identification to increase the security of the system, such as fingerprint and face recognition. The third is increased efficiency. It used to reduce the time taken when logged into the account. The fourth is invaded privacy. There is no one could guarantee that the user biometric data could not be replicated through certain method or technique which might lead to critical issue in the banking system. And the fifth is biometric data is not allowed to be changed. If the hacker stole the user biometric data of digital fingerprints or retina scan, user is not allowed to get or change a new one.
Part 1.
A cookie thief vulnerability was reported in January 2005 in the Frogger. Although the details reported are sketchy, it appeared the malicious JavaScript in a URL point to Frogger. Once the user clicks the link, the JavaScript will steal user identity, Google account, and password. These are the stakeholders of this case. The first is the Frogger users. They have the positive right. They can report the problem to the official website in order to solve it. The second one is the Frogger. The Frogger must take the responsibility to solve the problem as soon as possible and make apologies to the victims. These are their positive right. And their negative right is the Frogger may just ignore the problem and reported by the user. Third is the developer of the Frogger. The positive right of them is the developer should find out the vulnerability of the website and solve it as soon as possible. And the last one is the hacker. Those hacker has only negative right. They may use the user information in the illegal way. These are the evaluation of stakeholder perspective. First is the subjective relativism. Although having the authentication, which is the username and password data stored in the cookies, is unsafe, human does not require to remember username and password to log into the system. It is hard to draw the line when choosing to have a quicker access to the system or a more secure access to the system. The second one is the deontological theory. Frogger created a malicious link that would retrieve user name and password of the Google account of the user. When the user clicks the link, the Frogger does not have permission of the user to gain access to the cookies that have identification data on it. Frogger has the authorization to log in to multiple Google services such as YouTube, Gmail, and others with that username and account password. Those are the debate of cookie ethics. First, have a better website construction. Cookie could improve user experience on the web. Password can be stored in the cookies, which result user does not have to remember their password to log into the system, especially social networks such as Facebook, Twitter, and so on. This is also allow user to enter the system quickly. The second one is convenience user. If the user frequently enters a certain website, the cookie will save the data and help them to enter the website more easier. It is also help the user to log in faster as cookie helps to remember the password. The third one is exchange data. The information of identification might be selling user identity to other companies. The exchange of this data could increase their profit earning. The data is exchanged without the permission of the users. And the last one is spoof users. Identification might be leaked to unknown hackers. Username and password stored in the cookies might be hacked by other people. There is a probability that the personal identification being stolen by others since the username and password information are stored in the cookies. The attacks could be used the cookies to obtain the authentication of the person to access into the system.
Hello, my name is Chapter 1. I'm now talking about password ethics. Because now there are many concerns about privacy and password sharing. And then here comes the question, should children share their password to their parents? As now internet contains many dangerous items, so parents need to have some kind of way to monitor their children. For example, the dangerous of the internet. There is pornography, as well as cyberbullying. Now it comes to the stakeholder. First is children, where there are positive right and negative right. The positive right are children can share their password with their parents, while the negative right is children should not use their password in some illegal place. And then children's best friend is the next stakeholder. Their negative right is they use their friend's password to hack into their account and cause some online and in real life problems. The next stakeholder is parents. Their positive right is to share their password with children on some movie sites that needed account like Netflix. Then with the negative right is to secure the children's privacy by knowing their account's password. Finally, the stakeholder is App Store and account platform. The next, we are talking about the evaluation of stakeholder perspective with ethical theory. We have two theory. The first one is deontology theory, which comes from the perspective of the children. They should not tell their password to their parents because it's concerned about their privacy. The next theory is utilitarianism. In the perspective of parents, the kids share their password with their parents so that the parents could watch them in the back and keep them safe and secure online. Now I'll talk about the debate of password ethics. First, for the four, with the strong password creation, children should have a strong password in order to prevent from hackers getting into their account. How to make a strong password? They should have a combination of uppercase letters, lowercase letters, and numbers, so it becomes strong. Next, it comes with the shared password. Parents should have the password of their children in order to communicate with them and tell them which is right and which is wrong. Depends on the behavior on the internet. So if they do anything wrong, parents can monitor them and tell them not to do that and to know which is safe or not, so they would not go to any other bad websites like pornography and all that. Now for the against for the debate, children's online activities observation. Children should not share their password with their parents, as the password is the authentication to allow authentic people to log into their system. If children share their password with their parents, their privacy could be inspected. But look at the bright side, the parents will know what their children is doing based on their activity and chat room, but this has invaded their children's privacy. The next point is the potential of misuse password. Parents should not share their password with their children, especially accounts like Apple, Google, things that contains credit cards or debit cards with payment details that could purchase online items, because children doesn't know the value of money, and if they want anything they can straight away buy it from online, so they might accidentally purchase in-game items that could use credit card money from their parents without the permission from their parents. Moreover, children will have access to full video subscription website like Netflix, which might lead them to addicted to watching videos. This is the conclusion of our report. Identification and biometrics have come a long way as well as improved to the current technology. It has been used for many things, to identify user, security, for convenience for the user, and many more. As every device, it sure comes with disadvantages, so users must bear with the consequences of being hacked and disadvantages. As for biometrics, it's been evolving to a much more secure and faster, and the identification has changed since many years ago. Although the security is getting more secure, there always are hackers to find a solution or threat to break these securities. So people should have their own mindset to think about which is the right way to solve the question in an ethical way. Thank you for watching our report.